This is Jack White with the Capital District Growth Team, and the next to the last message of this series that started a couple of years ago. We have an old friend back with us. He's a former governor of the Capital District, and for the past year has been the chair of the Growth Team. His name is John Tyner. Are you there, John?
Yes, sir.
Wonderful. Good morning to you. John, the Growth Team is a name that most people have seen kicked around and written and so on for a long time, but I imagine a few of them have forgotten exactly what it is. Could you quickly remind people what the Growth Team is made up of and what its job is?
Sure. The Growth Team is three committees. One is a new club building committee. Another is a club growth committee to help an individual club with whatever needs to be helped. And then the third one is a communications PR committee to help you get known in the community and put your materials out there and maybe work on a website. And all three of those have committee members. There's one from each committee in each of our 8 regions. And we're there to help the clubs. That's it.
Okay. Now, we're again coming very close, by the time this is heard, to the end of the current Kiwanis year, which is the end of September. And the last quite a few months of it have gone very well. Can you give us some details?
Well, the last 6 months, Capital District has a net positive growth one month over the other, which is terrific. It's the first time in probably 9 years where we've had a significant increase each month over a period of time. We have a net growth of almost 300 positions so far this year, 300 members. We're looking real good to be maybe the first time in almost 2 decades of being a positive net growth for the district if we bring in our next 2 clubs and people don't take a membership bath at the end of September.
Okay, so it's a good ending to the year, but it's not over yet, and that last
That's right.
sprint could make the difference, right?
I think one of the main pushes this year, Jack, has been people's attitude about bringing in new members. It's not just a question of talking to them, but there's some things that they need to think about when they bring in a new member to a club. It's not just administrative exercise. Those new members need to know that they're needed and be given a sense of belonging in that club. They need to have the club members listen to their ideas. They're new people. They might have some new ideas. And to have real purpose, they should know that their contributions are valuable and they make sense of it. They help make the rules that the club will be followed because they're immediately put on a committee and they're doing some work doing. And what's really great about it is if when a new club member is shown up, gets inducted, they know what's expected of them. What the club expects of them and what they can expect from the club. And there are many challenging responsibilities that are within their capabilities, and the club leadership needs to have them do that. And generally, they need to be really kept informed. The new members today are really up on so much of our electronic communications, on emails and Facebook page and all the rest of it, and if they're not kept up, they may decide, well, that club's not for them. And so much of it depends on the fact that the new members are getting a square deal from their club leaders. They know they can trust them to be fair and competent. And whenever the new member has feedback, gets ideas to the club, that they need to get feedback, whether it's going to work or not work or like that, not just have a suggestion that goes off into the woodwork somewhere. Those are mainly very basic civility sorts of things that we all like to have, and increasingly becomes important for new members to feel that they have it, then they stay put. And I think that's one of the reasons we've been so successful in building 5 brand new clubs this year. First time that's happened since 1999. So that's what I'm enthusiastic about.
Years ago.
Yep.
Now, I want to make a comment. The Dover annual convention a few weeks back, I sat in a program conducted by some members of the Dulles Club. That's a group of young people. A lot of them came out of CKI, and they do things a little different from the classic club. But they said, and I heard another club also say that they're getting most of their leads for new members from Craigslist. Are you familiar with that
oh, yes. Yep.
phenomenon?
Yep, Craigslist and Twitter, and there's a whole lot of them out there. And for a club to have a presence, or a member of a club to have a presence on any of these social lists, are ways that people actually mine for programs they'd like to do. Kiwanis International, as you know, Jack, has a club interest form. They go up on our international site. They look to see what Kiwanis does. They have a form they fill out saying they're interested. They even have an opportunity to pick a particular club by key number as to where that fits their neighborhood. We've had 192 people use that form and pass their names on to us here in Capital District this year. So it's a real way to bring in what we all are looking for. That is the mid-career people or the younger people who are coming out and are really interested in doing community service, perhaps more than just sitting at a meeting. So it's a really good place for us to bring new members for Capital District.
I have heard this discussed and debated even. Apparently it's a dividing line in some other districts, and that is whether you grow by revitalize existing clubs or grow by building new clubs. Do you have a preference to one, or do you think it's a balanced approach?
Well, it's not exactly a balanced approach. I've been involved in building 9 clubs in Capital District here, and in every single case, when we built the new club, we have found that other clubs in the division have picked up members as well. Because when you're in a mode of building a club, people in the division are looking for other folks. Not all of them can go to the new club, but you'd be surprised at how well we've picked up other things. When we built the Potomac Club in Division 17, I think 4 of the other clubs in the division also picked up members because Potomac was to have been a luncheon club, and they didn't. They could only do a breakfast or do a dinner club. So it's a breeder effect if you're working on the new clubs.
That's assuming the clubs are in question are close enough to each other that a person could take a pick among several of them.
Yeah, and it depends on their commuting pattern, where they work and where they live. But so much of that depends on individual members in each club wanting to go out and, in essence, replace themselves, or each person bring in one member for that particular year. Many clubs, unfortunately, have only one person doing recruiting, and if you have a 30-member club, hopefully you'd have 4 or 5 people who are out there recruiting. And if you bring in 4 or 5 new members a year, then you're always going to be in the plus thing, because there are people who unfortunately pass on, or they've been promoted and have to transfer somewhere else. There's always movement in a club, and that's the important thing, is for individual members to do their bit.
Last thing before we wind this up, time's getting short, but Division 13 on the peninsula of Virginia this year was a shining star. Can you tell us a little bit about what happened there and why?
Our Lieutenant Governor there, Judy Panelidis, was really a live wire, got in there, found 5 or 6 people from all the clubs that were very interested in building those 3 new clubs they have. As a matter of fact, when we did the City Center Club, I found, went down there for their charter night, and I found that half of the new members of that club were former Kiwanians from other clubs that had dissolved for one reason or another. You know, once a Kiwanian...
So one person...
Yes.
Excuse me. One person can make a difference. In that case,
absolutely.
It was a lieutenant governor that decided she wanted to build a lot of new clubs in her division.
That's
John,
right.
you will be doing the same job next year, I assume.
Oh, yes. We got a lot of new help, and anybody who's interested in helping, just let their lieutenant governor know.
We will have to wind it up with that. Congratulations on the strong end of this year for the growth team, and hope he can push it over the line and in for the whole year.
We hope so. Thanks,
Mark,
Jack.
and good luck with next year. I'm going to be away from this program, but I'll be trying to rebuild my own club, and that'll try to put some of the things you said. You
and I are both going to be presidents of our club next year, so we'll be right there on the front line. Good luck to you.
Right, and thanks.
Right.
For the Capital District Growth Team, this is another Monday morning message. Jack White, thank you for listening.